It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we have wonderful guests. And my wonderful guest today is Michele Marie Angel, who's our author and spiritual teacher. Let me bring her on. Welcome, Michele.
Hi, Gail.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Fantastic. I put up the beach picture because you told me you were at the beach earlier, so I thought I'd put it up there to remind you. I love the water. I love the ocean. I love the beach.
Oh my goodness.
There's
It's so rejuvenating. I just went to the beach 2 days in a row. It's sort of like the beginning of the season for me. I mean, actually, the water gets really warm and it's a little bit chilly, and I'm a big baby when it comes to cold water. But I got in anyway. It's fine once you get in because it's really hot outside.
Oh, yeah, it's been getting warmer here too. Now, you can't find water as often, but there are rivers and creeks and waterfalls too. And I'm going to make, now that I have wheels, I'm going to make point of visiting those places. Nothing I missed more than not being able to go to out in nature. I mean, that's the main point of living where I'm living. Otherwise, it's hardly worth it. But anyway,
one thing I learned recently is when you really put your attention on things, you get a greater benefit. Like if you're loving the sun, you know, when you're in the sun, you get greater benefit from the sun. When you're loving the water, you know, and you really, you know, you're like, oh, this water is healing me, and you give attention and gratitude, you get more benefit from it. So that's really cool about the elements. And when you ground, you know, put your feet on the ground and intentionally ground.
I do that. I take my shoes off. Most of the time, sometimes I forget. Most of the time I take my shoes off and put my feet right on the ground. A lot of times at that time, I'm also sitting on the ground too.
Yeah, that's good grounding. And sending love to Mother Earth. And I mean, that's part of the ascension, really. Just
looking around and appreciating the beauty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So much beauty all around. I think I notice it more. Is that part of the ascension?
I think so, because you know what? I think as we go higher and higher in frequency, the colors are going to be brighter and more abundant in nature, more different kinds of colors and more just all kinds of really cool stuff.
I feel like my alertness and my awareness has also increased. Like I tune in to the birds chirping, whereas before I might not have paid much attention to the birds.
You know, now that you mentioned that, that's interesting that you said that. That's true. Because I just heard some birds chirping yesterday, and I'm going, you know, I usually didn't notice them that much. I don't know if they weren't chirping. That was me not being aware.
Yeah.
Probably that one.
And that's communication from the universe too.
Tim says he just wants a working magic wand. That sounds like a great idea.
You have one.
Yeah. In fact, you can just make one and you can make it do whatever you want because it comes from you anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I was wondering if I had one handy. I do have a feather. I'm not sure if I have a wand, but I usually have one handy.
Actually, you know, I just about went right over what we were going to read about our presentation today. So let me share my screen and bring that up. Let me bring that up. Hey, so hang on one second here. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to move that. Okay. There, I had to move. I changed the positioning on the page. So once again, this is Michele, and this is what we're going to talk about today. And so let me read this to you, and you can read along. Even though we are always in the eternal moment of now, we perceive a linear progression, which we interpret as time. Change has taken place. We were once younger and smaller. We get older and bigger. We shape our life with experiences that impact our thoughts and feelings. Life progresses. And yet, when we stop to take time for self-reflection and get to know our true self, our depth of perception reaches our core self, the soul seed that is full of unique potential. Then naturally, organically, we express our true inner nature. We discover our gifts to give. We create amazing things. We serve others. We are expressing the intention, creativity of the highest intelligence, the intelligence of love through our hearts. This brings us even greater insights and inspiration. We are moved towards that which we resonate with and form cooperative teams that express divinity. We navigate with heart intelligence. This is our love evolution. We all have a very bright future. And we were talking earlier about how love, our evolution or love revolution, they both are totally fitting at this time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what we're talking about, our evolution. And that's why, so, the title, Dark Past, Bright Future, that has all to do with, we progress in life. And there was a really interesting story, and it came out of Dolores Cannon's book, Jesus and the Essenes. And it was a teacher that was talking about something that Yeshua had said. Are you still here?
I'm still there. I accidentally hit a button that I didn't mean to hit. Sorry.
Buttons happen.
Yeah.
So anyway, and so we're talking about progression, and he was talking about how when a wave comes in and there's like little debris on the sand, the wave picks it up a little bit and moves it over just slightly and puts it down almost in the same place, but just slightly farther. And then another wave comes and it picks up the debris or the piece of something and it moves it over a little bit more and puts it down just slightly farther. And he was using that as an analogy or parable, if you will, showing that in our different lifetimes, we evolve a little bit each time. So we think of a lifetime as, lasting so long. And, and yet we have many lifetimes and we evolve over lifetimes. And so sometimes we're right in the middle of things. We might not see the purpose. We might feel the anxiety. We might not see a way out, but we live through everything. We end up overcoming everything. And we gain all of our experiences get turned into wisdom. Whether we think we're doing something good or something bad, we're having an experience to see what that experience is like. So in our past, which we may call dark, we might have made some mistakes. Maybe. Just kidding. We all do.
I was going, oh, really? Is there somebody that doesn't?
But actually,
something's drastically wrong with me.
That's what turns into the gem.
Do you see what? I don't mean to interrupt. Hang on to that thought of just a minute, but it's kind of funny, some of the things Tim's saying here. By the time we worked life out, we died.
No death.
The white hat, here's the other one. The white hat plan is taking too long. Got to break eggs to make the cake. and just when we think we're getting ahead of the game and to come back again, they wipe our memory. So
Not our soul
anyway,
memory.
I had to throw those in there, Tim. And sorry for interrupting, but they were kind of funny, and I didn't want them to miss the moment. So
But
good.
at the last, nobody is perfect.
That's absolutely true.
He put that in there too.
Some people think they're perfect.
Well, a friend of mine asked me one time, how do you know when you're done growing and ascending? And I said, well, then you wouldn't be here. How do you know there's still room to grow and change? And I said, if you're still here, there's always some place to grow.
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of it. I mean, learning is fascinating. I love learning. I love being a teacher. I have books. I love researching. I love synthesizing and putting together facts and everything. I love doing inner research and asking questions of guides, angels, higher self, that deep connection at the 0 point. Learning is fun. I like it.
I couldn't agree more. I've always considered myself, I'm a professional student.
Yeah. We're all teachers. We're all students. So one thing I wanted to say was, first of all, you know why I got this topic? It was really funny. Sometimes I just ask Spirit, what are we supposed to talk about? And I had thought of that title before, but I hadn't worked it up or known what I was going to say or anything like that. So I asked, today before I got on to write that description that you just read. And so I turned to any page, that's what I do when I just want an answer. And I got to this place in Forever Free called Know True Self as Christ Love. So the evolution all has to do with knowing our true self and our core self. So I'm going to read just a teeny tiny bit, and then I'm going to ask you to read a poem from this book.
I got it. Right.
Yeah. Here. So I'm going to read just a tiny bit of the beginning essay. Know true self as Christ love. The core of our being is the pure essence of our true self. It is touted throughout time to know thyself because of how important that is. Self-awareness is crucial. It is vital to know this prime inner aspect in order to function according to the laws of nature and the universal laws of God. How do we get there? First, we love God, the God within, God's spark within, in our true God self, the I am presence. So loving God is also loving ourself, our true self. God,
okay, go ahead.
God is our true nature. Once we can reflect the purity of love, the door is open to infinity. Okay, I'll be quiet now. What do you want to say?
No. I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to quickly say, and that's one of the things that religion teaches you not. I mean, you can't think that highly of yourself. How dare you?
Well, you know
what I mean, though. I mean, because to think about yourself,
to really evolve, I think you really have to take down the walls and the confinement of religious dogma. The principles in religion are basically the same in every religion, which really takes away all the walls. And the true principles from the initiators of what turned into religion, which maybe shouldn't, is because it's really principle based. And so, Yeshua is always go direct. It's all about love. That it's as simple as that. Love.
Yeah, right. He wasn't a Christian, so to speak, but his religion was love, just like all the leaders of the different religions that got formed. The religion itself is love, and the rest is just stuff put together by people with self-importance, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and when you're discerning and reading any spiritual literature and you're discerning with your heart, you can get the truth and valuable principles out of it and live by those principles, which is very, very helpful. Very helpful. Tim Potter said, know thyself and to thyself be true. Authenticity matters. That's true because, you know, be true to yourself in some of the spiritual lessons that I have taught. One of my main tenets is the integrity model of consciousness, which is to know yourself, be true to yourself, be your authentic self, and believe in yourself. I'm not sure if you want me to repeat those.
No. Okay.
All right. Should I repeat it?
Yeah, hang on a second. I gotta. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't shut it off, and I should have. So go ahead, read it.
No, I was saying something.
Oh, say it. Go ahead.
I was saying that one of the core values in all of the education that I do, spiritual education type activities, is there's a presentation which just sets out these tenets, and it's called the integrity model of consciousness. So I'm responding to what Tim said before about being true to yourself. So the four main tenets are know thyself, be true to yourself, be your authentic self, which he also mentioned, and then believe in yourself. But it's that core self. The core self is your highest intelligence, and there's no limitations. It is the infinite intelligence of the universe. It's holistic. It's not ego mind thinking. You know, it's everything. It's holistic, heart-based, soul-based intelligence where you're tuned in to the oneness and the infinite intelligence.
So, Tim says the last one can be tricky.
Oh, I know, Tim. Believe me, I'm still working on it very much. Yes, these are things that we work toward. Edgar Cayce said you could spend your whole lifetime living up to your own ideals. In other words, you have an ideal characterization of what you want to be, what we want to be, our divine self. You know, we all want to be our divine pure self. And so we learn how to do that bit by bit, grace by grace. And, you know, I personally think it's the inner attention. Some people call it inner work. I just call it inner attention, where self-reflection and meditation and being in nature and attunement, you know, to the natural essence of self and, you know, everything, all that is.
I like inner attention better than inner work. It sounds nicer. That's all. Work is just that, work.
I know, it sounds easier too, doesn't it?
Yes, it sounds easier. Exactly. So it makes it the idea of going, well, let me pay a little more attention to myself, and why do I feel this way? Why is this coming up, or things like that, rather than
absolutely. And what do I do about this problem? What do I do about this person? What do I do about, you know, because we can consult our higher intelligence, which some people call God or source, or, you know, we also have masters and guides and higher beings, and, you know, just really understanding and putting the interconnectedness of all into a, you know, functioning cooperation. We get help, we get strength, we get, you know, we get lifted up, and, you know, and we feel better and we feel stronger because we're really never alone.
I think what Tim's referring, often we are swimming against the tide of sheep and deep state lies. We signed up for this.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that.
I want to say something. This is funny.
Go ahead.
Well, it's funny to me. I laugh all the time, so maybe it's not funny to everyone else. But Tim, so you're talking about the tide of the sheep and the deep state lies. So, you know, we all do what we can. And I went through a period of time where I was making all these memes, and I was looking through my meme pictures today because I put together this presentation, and I didn't like a lot of the pictures that were in it. So I changed the pictures before I made this thing that I'm going to show on your show a little later. But so swimming against the tide is basically researching the truth, standing for the truth, sharing the truth, and just taking a stand. And that's another one of my books. Take a stand. You shine your inner light, you research the truth, you share the truth, and you don't back down, you don't comply. You just keep on keeping on no matter what. You might lose a job, you might lose a friend, you might, you know, lose things that might not be for your highest good, really. But we just keep on keeping on, and we've made a lot of progress, Tim. We've made a lot of progress, and you have, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, you're here with us. There are no accidents.
And this this last one that Tim, that you talk about, you need to see the contract and don't remember signing up. None of us do, which makes it null and void.
Oh, I got another one. Tim, you are just cracking me up today. You're making me think of things. I was doing that to Gail earlier. You made me think of one more thing. You made me think of something. Anyway, but Tim keeps making me think of something right now. So, but I need to see the contract. I don't remember signing up. When I was 8 years old, I was whining to God saying, I want to go home. They're barbarians here. And believe me, I had this, I want to call it a vision, or I want to call it a download at 8 years old. And it just came to me. It was like my own words saying, I want to understand, I want to help. And then it was, to me, you're going to have to go through a lot of difficult experiences. And I was like, as a soul, I know, I'll do it. So I was reminded of my contract at 8 years old, Tim. So go whine to God, because that helps. It'll answer you and remind you of your contract. You might not remember signing up, but you wouldn't be here if you didn't have one. And if you didn't have special gifts that the world needs right now. You wouldn't be here.
Now, okay, I have to clear this up, because when I interpreted what Tim was saying, I was referring to the contract that from the deep state and the deep, the different things that they have entrapped us in. Okay.
Yeah, no.
But you're talking about the contract before we came in.
Yeah, the soul contract.
We make a contract. Yes.
We have a mission when we come in.
Right.
Yeah. I don't give credence to, the so-called deep state. They are like so far under the law that I live. I live the law of God. I live, the intelligence of God.
Freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. God gave me freedom, and they're not going to take it away. And I've stood up for myself all along, even when I was standing alone.
Look at Jatha. Go on. Hey, I'm going to try that myself now, Michele.
Oh, hey, well, I have to say, I love God, but I can't say I've never been a brat. I have been. Yeah, soul contract. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I was talking about something else, so you can just ignore what I said then.
Okay. Hey, I'll tell you something that we don't want to ignore, Gail. If you could turn to page 73 in Forever Free. So we're talking about our soul's evolution here.
73, did you say?
Yeah, 73 in Forever Free.
Yeah,
these books really will lighten your spirit. You see how I laugh all the time? That's because it's my soul self being silly.
Okay. Being transformed. That's it, right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. It identified initially as body, then light, electrified by experience, danger's blight, triggered to be activated by cycle's end, density of body awareness and subtle spirit blend, power once denied by limited perception while facing away from divine connection, attention stolen toward darkened state until despair transforms direction and fate, life's course altered by incoming light, awareness of truth, and core self-might. Cutting the shaft from the grain of deception, a rebirth of purity and a true heart's conception. Abilities of soul merged with spirit arise, a golden Christed consciousness, the ultimate prize. Sensitivities and miraculous powers emerge. Old patterns, values, and ways are purged. Stepping out into the world with higher, deeper vision, Holy Spirit sight, liberation from prison. Birthing this intelligence, the denser realm, individually and collectively, divine love balm. Creator consciousness, authority with goodwill mix, providing mirrored solutions that genius can fix. Freedom born of awareness, a universal liberator, earth and humanity lifted by the immaculate concepts of our Creator. Glory to the light of God, born of divine love essence, a deep eternal gratitude for the gift of God's presence. Born into eternal light, awareness has no bounds. Exploring words of creation, colors, lights, and sounds. Is there more? Is there more?
That's it.
I know that was a great ending anyway. So yeah, I didn't think there was any more, but
yeah,
sometimes you go on, and sometimes it's great. I love your writing.
Yeah, the whole thing is like if somebody actually has the book, it's you can like read a line and pause and think about it, or some stanza might really be significant to your soul, and you can stop and dwell on that. And something might be really pertinent to your life right now. And so, that's the benefit of reading these books, because it's part of it helps in your self-reflection, and it also brings you to that deeper space. And so, it's uplifting in a permanent way when you do stuff like that. That's what's helped my spiritual growth a lot is, reading different things, and then I get inspired from within and sort of make things new. But
this is so true. I know. Do you know what song he's talking about? I do.
No, but I agree with what it says.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send you that song.
Okay.
It is really good. The young woman. It starts out with a man doing kind of a rap type song, but when she starts it, she's God, we need you now, and she sings it beautifully.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah. There's a couple other comments that he had. I'm a professor in being silly. I like that. Professor in being silly. That's a good one.
Yeah, indeed, be aware of the deceptions and distractions. There's plenty of them. You should, like, when they tell you to look here, you should look over there.
Yeah. Well, Tim, you've already, obviously, by what you're saying, you're totally on the path of ascension, and all these things that you know of are helping people around you, whether you speak them or think them or live them. And so everybody that is developing themselves and evolving themselves has an impact on people around. It raises their vibration, and it also goes into the collective consciousness. Yeah.
Deep conversation. I do that too. I do the same thing. And that's exactly what we need to be doing right now. And that's how we uncover a lot of information about ourselves and why we might be reacting. That self-reflection and that deep trying to understand, or know thyself, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the sayings that I like, and it goes along with the title, Dark Past, Bright Future. And I've said this before, but I like to say it a lot. Every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. So we've all made mistakes. We all have dark things in the past, and we're all becoming lighter and brighter. And that's how evolution goes. We're always going onward and upward. We might take a step back once in a while, but we are being helped so much. We're going to go onward and upward. Ultimately, we'll always go onward and upward, and we'll always evolve, and we'll always have someone there to hold our hand, to give us a hug, to help us along the way. There's a lot of people, you know, on this side and on the other side of the veil, always willing to help. We have our ancestors, our guides, our angels, masters, higher light beings, God, our source, Mother, Father, God. And
Apparently,
so remember to ask, remember to ask, remember to ask for help.
that is so true. You know, I always felt funny about asking for anything. Like, that must come from some program that you're not good enough or something like that. But just, I'm more conscious of the need and the importance of not being afraid to ask.
Yeah. And so we always want to be the giver. Some of us, others, there are others that don't know that side and they always want to be the taker. But even if you want to be the giver all the time, you're going to have lessons in receiving. And if you want to be a giver, you're going to get lessons in receiving and needing to receive. Givers need lessons in receiving. And I know a lot of people, when they've gone through financial setbacks or poverty situations or, you know, things like that, there are lessons in receiving. And we need to be aware of our self-worth and that we are worthy of receiving. We are children of God. We are very much loved. You know, we have a whole family around us of souls, family of souls.
It's interesting that you say that, because I want to throw in here, because this is something that somebody said to me recently, that the reasons that in my situation may be difficult is because of bad karma. What do you say about that?
Well, I mean, because only you know yourself. I personally would dismiss other people's opinion of myself, because if it resonates, if it's something you need to look at.
It didn't resonate, so.
Yeah, so, and if it doesn't resonate, if it's not something, we know in our own self-reflection what we need to look at. We know, because it's like our conscience. There's a place in our conscience and a place in our soul that says, you know, here's something where I could have done better. And so we ourselves, and the same thing when people have life reviews. When people have life reviews, each person evaluates themselves. Nobody is judged. Everybody evaluates themselves and what they set out to do. And then they decide if, you know, they could have done better or will do better, or they did a great job, or some of both, usually, of course, right? So we can find out things where we can grow without holding on to guilt or shame. We do not need guilt or shame. We do not need guilt or shame, because we have experience to see what it's like. We could be the perpetrator. We could be the victim. We can be the rescuer. We've all been all of it. Again, every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. We can always change, be servants, try to help other people, give what we can, even if we have nothing, give of ourselves and help somebody move or something. And so I think that when people realize there's no guilt, no blame, no judgment, and we don't need to judge other people either. I remember I was at the farmer's market in Oregon one time, and it was in, I want to say it was sometime around the election, but it was when people getting divided, and there were things like TDR, which I didn't know what it was at first, Trump derangement syndrome.
I was going to say, Trump derangement syndrome? Is that what you said?
Yeah. And I was at the farmer's market one day, and I was sitting next to this guy having a snack. And he said, well, Trump did this and this and this and this and this in his past. And I said, well, didn't you ever make a mistake in your past? And he said, yeah, I used to be an alcoholic. I said, used to be, right? And now you're better and different and changed? And he said, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you know, you can't hold people to how they were in the past. We are evolving. Everybody's evolving. That's why forgiveness is so important. for ourselves and others. And really think about it. Self-forgiveness is the hardest because we need to transmute all of the shame and judgment, self-judgment, and so forth, because we are having lessons in life to evolve through, and we need to forgive ourselves because every experience has a purpose, and that is when we self-reflect, we just turn it into pearls of wisdom.
Very true, very true. And it's one of those things when something, what appears to be negative does happen, to try to look at all of the possibilities of what could be the real deeper meaning of this. What could I possibly get out of this? Because I have found so many times throughout my lifetime when something very negative happened, like maybe I had to move, or I lost a job, or something like that. Further down the road, I was very happy about what had happened because I needed it for something else to happen to, add to your repertoire of experiences. And
Absolutely.
your ability to be compassionate and relate to someone else that could be going through the same experiences.
Yep, that is one of the biggest things right there. So Jay thought 320 said takes a way higher mind to evaluate own soul. Oops.
I thought I put it up there.
Super varsity level A. Yeah, it was. I was reading it. You had put it up.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it didn't show on my side. That's weird.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, super varsity level A. Well, everybody, that's the ascension. The mind is getting higher and deeper. And that's what self-reflection does. And speaking of that, before you change it again, because this relates to it, I want to say this in a way that it's sort of an example of self-reflection, but also a confirmation that, we're going into the bright future and we're leaving the dark past behind. But this is a poem that I wrote, and I'm going to read it because it came so deep from my heart. And it's called A New Day Has Dawned. As I look back, I am humbled by my own mistakes, the pain I've caused, the opportunities to express love, some wasted, some diminished by my own lack of awareness. How many people or creatures in how many lifetimes have I mistreated or ignored? Something has happened. Can you feel compassion moving in? A new day has dawned. How can I apply this new awareness of love? Can I change the past? Can I use it to make a better tomorrow? Everything is possible with God. First, I must forgive myself. Maybe the hardest thing to do. Oh, I've held grudges when I've been hurt. How could they be so cruel? I thought as I cried. The same way I was. We didn't know. Forgive us, for we knew not what we were doing. God, I find solace in your unconditional love. I am healed. I am whole. Thank you for new wisdom, for direct perception of truth. Your grace has touched my being with pure, sweet, gentle, understanding, divine love. Now that I have forgiven myself and have felt God's grace in my heart, I can readily and sincerely forgive others. They didn't know. We didn't know. Now we do. A new day has dawned. We have awakened. The morning dew glistens by the light of our own newborn hearts. We are yet yawning and stretching and looking around in wonderment. God and the angels appear so closely now. With the saints and ascended masters, they whisper wisdom in our hearts. We hear them. We love them. We thank them. The once faint call of the one inner voice of love has become loud and clear. We hear the same messages as one another. You are worthy. You are lovable just the way you are. You are me and I am you. We are one in the spirit of love.
Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely.
Oh, there's actually more. I'll go back. I mean, I'll say it fast. To God goes all glory, the God in our hearts, for God is love, and love's presence permeates all and is all. We are that love. Love is here now and always will be, ready to embrace us, moving through us as we embrace each other. I am humbled as I surrender to love, transcending the former identity of self into what is real. Love, pure love. Thank you, God.
Thank you, Michelle, for reading that. That was beautiful.
Well,
And that's what, somebody said, oh, some people say that we're already in the fifth dimension. I said, well, I think we're in the fourth dimension because of the disclosure that's happening. I don't see enough love, compassion, and help going out to our fellow men yet to call it the fifth. We're getting there. I see it with some people. I see it in some ways, but we're not. I don't think we're there yet.
well, we're not exactly homogenous. Not all souls are in the same dimension, even though we're living,
together
on
but separate.
on the same,
Mhm.
planet, if you will. So, yeah, we're living together. We share the same sunlight. We share a lot of the same things, but we still have like uniquely different timelines, and we resonate at different levels. And that actually changes our perception of what we can see. When we have a narrow mind, we see less. When we have a broader mind, expanded mind, we see more. When we have deeper perceptions, we sense more truth and love and can resonate at the higher levels. So we're not always exactly steady. We can go up and down, but we get to a threshold and we can always go higher, but we're also collective and we're helping, it's like we're hanging on and we're being pulled up from above, and we're also hanging on below and we're pulling others up with us. So we're collective, and love is the buoyancy or the leaven, and truth is also the leaven that lifts us up into, higher awareness and higher intelligence and more pure love, our divinity, really.
Okay. Tim wants to bring up the fact forgiveness sometimes needs time, and some actions are unforgivable, such as those who do evil to little kids.
That's true.
That's extremely true. Yeah. I don't forgive that. It's beyond.
Because some people do things knowingly and wantingly. They choose evil. They choose evil. And, but it's up to, like I am not the judge of anybody but myself, and I will always try to have compassion and understanding. But if I have, righteous anger, what I feel is righteous anger, like, when people do things to the kids.
Well, Yeshua felt that way too in the temple.
Yeah, exactly.
Money against the money changers, and that same thing is still going on today. It's just a different way it's being handled.
It's being handled, though. I'll tell you what, because I trust. I trust. I trust God. I trust Yeshua. I trust that nobody's giving up. We're never giver-uppers.
Yeah, I've heard Trump say that 100 times.
Did he?
And, oh yeah, never give up. Never give up. No matter what happens, never give up. And I agree with him. And that can be hard to do sometimes. You just feel like giving up. I've certainly been there enough times myself. In fact, not that long ago. Like, why am I doing this? I'm just gonna quit. But then it's just a passing feeling because of negativity that's happening at the time.
Yeah.
But
well, I think we're getting out of it faster and faster, and I'm not giving it as much attention. I'm putting more attention on ascension and being the best I can be, and being more in nature, and because you can be aware of the truth but not dwell on the negative aspects and dwell on what we're building and where we're going. So we don't want to throw our attention and dwell on the past. the dark past. We want to throw our attention into the bright future because that's how we create it. And that's where self-reflection comes in, because I've been asking for assistance because we're always taking steps forward, and I'm going forward as well as everyone else. And I'm asking, to perceive the immaculate concept of my soul's blueprint so that I can see the next steps, the next era coming up in my life. And I'm, asking for or claiming, vowing to be in attunement with God's will. And so, I'm looking to where I'm going, and I'm not dwelling too much on, I was very much a truth seeker, and like I said, I went through that period of times I was researching truth and making memes. And that was the phase a lot of us were in at that time, bringing truth. A lot of truthers made channels and came onto the scene and shone the light of awareness. And that is the light, and it's great. And that's why the world has shifted and changed, and it's getting so much better. Things are really getting better.
I like the comment Joshua made. I think a lot of what's happening is to make people go internally.
I agree wholeheartedly. And to tell you what, Joshua, that's right in here. I wrote that exact thing, that this is a great revival, that people are going direct. And that's the big revival, that everyone's going direct.
Yeah. And then Lenny says you have to walk through the dark to understand the light.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. It's like comprehension. And to comprehend something, you have to know its opposite. Oh, I love that, Tim. Enlightenment is an inside job.
Yes, it is. Really good.
Hey, do you want to do that thing I threw together today?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
All right. Let me share my screen. And I got to tell you something. I did this on a fly. It was only one take. Usually I do it more than once if I make a mistake. So there's a mistake in it, but I'm going to play it anyway. I did it in one take.
We might not even notice it, because the mistakes stand out more to the person who made it than it does to other people sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I won't tell you anymore. All right. Tell me when you're ready. Am I sharing the screen? Okay.
Yes. I'll bring it up there.
Okay. And tell me when to go.
Let me take this down, and then you can go. Unless you can make it bigger on your end, you have to do it on your.
Bigger as soon as I hit play, or I can make it bigger. Well,
okay.
Law Revolution by Michele Marie Angel. Let's go. New love is emerging from heaven within. No more winners and losers. Everybody wins. We know what is right deep down in our hearts. We know we are one love, not just little parts. Transcending duality, we all rise above, forgiving and ascending on clouds of love. We don't allow control or fear to manipulate. We're standing for justice now. We will not wait. Usurped by a few who would control and take our government, now we must remake. In the essence of God's law in our Constitution, we demand its intent back with restitution. We stand united with solutions to share, no programming or apathy, we passionately care. Our work is cut out for our soul's evolution. We're waking up now in a truth revolution. Research concludes that our minds are unlimited, tuned into spirit, our creativity uninhibited. Our expanded awareness and open heart knows the real truth is we shine when divine love flows. This illuminating light that we are is in fact showing us clearly that by God we are backed. We are here to do his will and give as he does in our new world. Our new world is here. It's not like it was. We've said no to war and to hunger too. We know what to do. Strengthened by our own integrity, we take a stand. We fight for liberty and bring peace to our land. We take back our power and supply all of our own needs. We don't have our hands out to bureaucratic greed. We've networked to cooperate within our community. With God's loving guidance, we're strengthened by unity. In this new world that we've made together, filled with joy and abundance, it just keeps getting better. The end is only the beginning when you open your heart. God bless you.
Well, for just throwing it together, that was great.
Did I unshare? Did you help me
Yeah.
unshare?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gone. It's gone. So,
Okay. Yeah. Did you see it?
yeah. What? The mistake?
No, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
As I said, it was very spot on.
Yeah. Did you see you? I thought I'd throw that in there.
Okay. Hello, Lunar Sunray. Leah. Yeah, and Joshua says, and this is so true, that the darkness is a great teacher for those who are paying attention. And Conspiratary said, awesome poem, loved it. You ought to see her books.
Thank you.
I haven't read a poem from any of her books yet that I didn't like. And that's the truth. It's very obvious to me that they're divinely inspired.
Yes. Yes. Well,
and the timing is perfect at this time.
Yeah.
Even if you got the messages years ago.
I gotta tell you something. This is so cool. So now we're in this great new time. We really are. We really are a step up in another stage, right? So we're all going to get more synchronicities. And this is the funniest thing. So I was in a group of people just last Monday, and so we were wrapping up our meeting and everything. And so somebody said, well, is there anything else? I said, how about a poem? And they're like, okay. So I said, I grabbed this book out. It is a new world after all. And I said, how about if I just open up to any page? And someone said, well, how about if I just name a page? I said, okay. So she said 103. I opened the book exactly to 103.
It just came open to that page.
It did. And the person next to me, it actually just did again, but the person next to me said, really? So I had to show her the page, because she was dumbfounded that happened.
But that's a little synchronicity right there.
I know. I love it.
And those are the kinds of things people should watch for, because they are happening. And sometimes they're subtle little ones, but they're still there. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is also about empowerment. And so do you want to read this? You want to read the one? Okay. It's page 102 and 103. 102.
103. Oh, okay.
It's already here.
Already here? Okay. I thought I was on the wrong page. Okay.
No.
All right. It's already here. If you're looking for anything, there's no reason to fear. Look inside, you'll see that it's already here. Believe it or not, the truth of your being is making up everything that you're seeing. Whatever it is you wish to have or give, with love and vision, it's what you can live. What about love, the special person for me? Inside there is love, just let it be. Let it blossom. As you express who you are, your love will attract them. You won't have to go far. What about material, things that I need? Look inside and plant the seed. Feel the feeling, picture that you have it. It will come right to you. Reach out and grab it. Trust God in your heart to supply every need. There's plenty for all. No reason for greed. Feel your abundance. Be of good cheer. Express deep gratitude that it's already here.
Mm-hmm.
We're sensing that kind of thing more and more all the time now. I think, at least I am. And I think other people are too. So thank you, Mary Jean. We appreciate that very much. And yeah.
So one of the things that I wrote is sort of appreciating, it gives us a lot of, when we stop and think how awesome God is, or source, or whatever, people want to call it, our Father, Father, Mother, God. When we stop and think all the things that we do have and focus on what we do have and on gratitude, then we realize we are constantly receiving. We are constantly receiving gifts from God. And so I actually wrote a book that I'm going to actually upload on the fly. And because it really touches my heart that when I think about all the things that I'm grateful for, and it's a really good ascension activity to, just keep going back to gratitude,
Yeah. I wonder if you, I just opened my page to one of your poems I'd like to read.
Oh, good.
It's only one page too. So, but it's conscious kindness. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yes.
Okay. For those unaware, thoughtfulness lacks, deeply hurting us, turning their backs. Because they know not what they do, forgiveness bestows, heals them in you. Contemplating others as heart is in pieces, I know I've fallen short, awareness increases. Gratitude expressed, growing inside, vow to do better, creates inner pride. Universe of order instills accountability, eventually waking up, taking responsibility. Open to God, compassion that heals, warming my heart, how much better it feels. Intent to become consciously kind, expressing God's love, opens heart and mind.
Yeah. 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 That I remember all the things that have inspired me to write these books. There was a specific situation where somebody was unkind, and instead of like being blaming and judging and whatever and complaining, I went into my meditation chair and I processed it as if life is my reflection. And so I was saying, well, I'm not always kind either. I'm sure there's places where I can grow. I think I'll make a new vow or intent to be consciously kind and pay more attention to how I affect others. But it actually stemmed from somebody doing something to me that was unkind. And I think pretty much inappropriate, but forgiveness happens. And that's another thing I was thinking about today. It's like, if we want to learn forgiveness, then we have to have experiences where somebody does something that we have to forgive. So like we've created that for our own soul's growth, and somebody else played that part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And yes, instead of, and sometimes people say, I don't know, just walk away. And sometimes I think one of the things that that we can learn is how to become masters of our energy and not let it be to put up walls when necessary, to be kind when necessary, and to be grateful.
Yeah.
For the experience, which may sound kind of crazy, but usually in reflection, maybe not at the time, but in reflection, when you look back, you see that's when you really learn from it, I think.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this thing to go that I just uploaded. Oops. Uh-oh.
What were you going to upload?
Well, I did upload it already, but it said that I made it private, so I can change that.
Oh, okay.
I did not make it private on purpose. So
Jim says, some experiences I wish I would have liked to have skipped.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. Yeah. There's a couple of times I'll never do that again.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Settings.
Or
It's
what was
public.
I thinking? What platform do you have it on?
It's Rumble.
Oh, maybe I can share it if you send me the link. I don't know why. Send it and put it in Skype, and I'll see if I can open it.
Oh, it's here. It's ready. I actually can.
Good.
I'll just do it.
Okay, good.
Okay, so here I'm doing share screen, Descender tab, the Great Giver.
There we go. Okay. It came up now. So
tell me when to go.
Okay, go.
The Great Giver by Michele Marie Angel. To our beloved Almighty Father God. Everything we get in life comes from our Great Giver. Endless joy is available as we flow with life's river. With deep gratitude and love that we feel, we can thank God for all that is real. There's nothing more real than that which lasts. It's the wholeness of love, the self that is vast. There is no idea or thing that we can keep aside from God's love that runs so deep. For everything we are and things that we get all come from God to whom we're in debt. Life itself is the ultimate gift of potential unfolding. With free will, choice, and love, ourselves we are molding. Eternally free to enjoy our expression, we learn of ourselves in every life's lesson. To know and experience the image of God that we are, we hone our reflection until love shines like a star. God shines on each one of us with unconditional love, showering us with blessings to receive from above. God gives us life that is eternally renewing, to feel joyful creative expression in whatever we're doing. Every experience we have is perfect from God's perspective. We know that too when we're self-reflective. God gives us special gifts according to our asking. By faith and grace we receive, in his love we are basking. Feeling totally fulfilled and knowing heavenly bliss, let's give back to God and blow him a kiss. What can we give God that will bring him pleasure, the best of ourselves in infinite measure? We can love God with all of our heart. We can express love as we play our life's part. We can share the gifts God has given. We can tell others the joy we are living. We can express our full potential and create our own heaven. We can forgive those who err 70 times 7. We can aid others when they need help or feel down. We can give what they need or act like a clown. We can stand firm in our integrity and always say what's true. We can rest our faith in God, always knowing what to do. The end is only the beginning when you open your heart. For more inspirational messages, you can go to the SMILE website, Spiritual Miracles, Intentional Living Education, smileforlove.com. God bless. The Great Giver by Michele Marie Angel.
Stop it. Unshare. Unshare me.
There we go. Alrighty,
Yeah, they're all a little bit different. So that is another one of my, I've written 48 stories for awakened awareness, and they have not been shared yet with the public. And I upload them, like I said before, for our show, and then I just take them down again because there's not really, they just haven't gone public yet, you know, but they're little sneak previews on your show.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Okay.
It seems like I'm getting more previews lately, and I really do appreciate. Someone else did the same thing. Renetta Jones did the same thing, and So someone else did too. I can't remember who it was right now. But anyway, I appreciate that very much. I do try to keep my finger on the pulse of what people are looking for and needing at the time. And so we will eventually, too, be joining a spiritual higher consciousness network in the not too distant future. And I'll tell you more about it when I know more about it. But at this point in time, I'm very excited about it. And so if you have different things that you think or topics or things that you'd like to have covered, feel free to, leave that in the comments or something like that. I'll always look at it. I don't know if I'll always be able to do it, but I'll always.
This is good, but there's also some comments before this that haven't been up there yet that are good also.
Well, I don't always put all of them up, but
Okay.
Leah moved over to the chat in YouTube because she said it was the cool kids were there. That's where everybody's been commenting.
Welcome to the cool kids.
Yeah.
Part.
Right. Exactly. And then Tim goes on to say God likes acts of kindness.
That's what I love. I love that. Thank you, Tim.
I've got this one meme that's called Random Acts of Kindness.
Mm-hmm.
That's everybody's purpose. If we're born in the spirit of love, that's what we should be projecting. From our heart. That's what heart intelligence is all about.
And we do, actually. Maybe not 100%, maybe not 100% pure.
It's increasing.
It is. And
I see more people smiling back.
Yes. And that reminds me of a poem. Can I read it with my silly, funny glasses on?
They match your sweater.
I know, right? Got to match. So this one is, I see you, God. And I'm supposed to tell everyone who listens, take this personally, including you, Gail. You ready?
Okay.
I see you, God. In you, dear friend, I see what's good. You can do things that I never could. You express love uniquely as you do. There's not another soul exactly like you. I see you, God, shining through my friend. I see you peeking with a hand to lend. I know you're there in those squeezy hugs. I feel the bond as my heart tugs. I see you, God, in children's laughter, reminding me of joy I'm after. I feel you, God, as I play. I feel you in my life that way. I hear you, God, as I listen inside. With your love, my tears have dried. Your wisdom wells up in my mind, teaching me always to be kind. I feel you, God, as warmth in my heart. I sense your guidance as I play my part. I treasure you, God, as the human race. I see you shine in every face. I love you, God. You are my soul. We are one, truth be told. I am you, God, as I love my friend. The cycle is complete, but will never end. Dedicated to the God in all of us.
Oh, that's wonderful. That was good. Thank you for reading that. Oh, we have, let's see what Joshua has to say here. Here's a question for everybody. Can goodness exist without evil? And can light exist without darkness? Good question, Joshua.
Well, I just know that they both exist and they both complement each other, and there is a purpose for both, and everything turns to good in the end.
I think the need, so to speak, is very small for the darkness, but right now it's way out of proportion.
Yeah, well, darkness,
but it's being contained though. It's being eradicated and
darkness is potential that turns into light. Everything's going to be all light in the end. When we ascend, we'll cast no shadow.
So Tim says he believes good can thrive without evil.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that the darkness is part of our ascension, and it's like the training wheels that we need until we don't. Then we don't need it anymore.
I've had people argue with me that there has to be some darkness.
Well,
I don't see why, but I mean, I understand their whys, but I'm not sure if there is a correct answer to that. But here's another one, a good one from Mary Jean. If everyone sends blessings to Mother Earth, it will begin to change humanity for the better. It will help everyone shift into a higher consciousness. Because yes, definitely we're connected to Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. She rains on the good and the bad.
I do that consciously when I'm grounding, especially. But I also do it when I'm admiring the beauty. Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Okay, as Tim's saying, are we not maybe fractals of God, as somebody says? We are poor reflections of God's perfection. Well, we don't really want to put ourselves down too bad because we're pretty well down enough. Now, Jay he thinks that for best results, 50% light, 50% dark. I don't know. I don't know if we can apply percentages because it really depends on how dark is the dark. If you know what I mean. I mean, there's just like we were talking about.
This is light, and the more that we're conscious, the more light we are. So we can be pure love. We can be pure light. We can create perfection. Evolution is our path to that goal. And we're all going to be coming home, to God, which is pure light.
Okay. Well, hey, Joshua says, I think balance is the answer. Harmony is important. Love, peace,
balance
harmony.
is the answer to reconcile paradox, that's for sure. Balance is sort of a mathematical law of the universe as well.
Let's see, did I miss anything? Is there anything else you wanted to bring up today, Michele?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Do you have any questions, or do you think I think the themes came up like, so, we are evolving toward the light, and we all do have a bright future. We're having a love revolution.
Yes.
And we're loving our evolution. And we talked about kindness a lot. So, that came up repeatedly. And so I think we're really in a good space, and we're on the light side of things and speaking about the light side of things. So that's cool.
Being be the light.
Yeah.
You can be the light in somebody's darkness. Just like that kind act. You have no idea what someone is going through and why they might be looking sad or whatever it might be. And sometimes just a smile and a recognition, a warm-hearted, genuine, people can feel that, and it can make their day.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, it has happened. That has happened. Yeah.
Oh, Jay Thought's asking, what does the soul gain from these earth incarnations?
Evolution.
Yeah, I've heard about those grounding sheets, pillows, mats, all that. I can't afford one. They're very expensive, I think. From the ones I looked at, unless they're a lot cheaper over in England, they sure aren't here. But anyway. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else today to say, I think we've covered the topic for the day, and I
think we did. I was somebody made me think of it was either a poem or a line in a poem about be the light in someone's night. It's in one of my poems, but what you said is, be the light in someone's night. So if someone's having a hard time, go shine your light, give a helping hand, be there to listen, whatever it takes, sometimes just sit next to somebody, that needs.
Maybe we should find that and end the show with that. How about that? Do you think we can find it?
Let's see.
You know which book it's in? This might be too hard to do, so I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? I think I know where it's at. I'm going to actually look on. This is probably, I just found it so fast. It probably is meant to be, but I need to share my screen.
Oh, you found it already. I guess it was meant to be.
Yeah.
All good.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to go here and share my screen. Boy, that was so fast. I couldn't even believe it. Okay, tell me when you're ready to go. Should I go?
Go.
Okay.
Hail, all good people, by Michele Marie Angel.
There's a buzzing sound.
This
Can you hear it?
Is for you. Please listen with your heart.
Kind of.
Hail, all good people. Step up to the plate. It's time to shine. The world cannot wait. Set your sights on good things. Be a true friend. With good-hearted actions, a hand you can lend. Be a spirit lifter. Say things will be all right. Be a shining star in the dark of someone's night. Discover the gifts God has given you to share. Express yourself wisely. Show that you care. Remember what you have is there for the giving. Discover true joy while it's love that you're living. Hail, all good people. Your faith will set you free. Know that God will answer as he listens to your plea. Find your inner strength as you listen to the truth. Stand for what's right. Be a model for the youth. Take care of your family. That's all God's children too. Include everybody as God includes you. No light is victorious, though some may want to plunder. Don't be crazed, be amazed as God works his wonders. God is using you, my friend, to help someone out. He is helping you too, through angels all about. Hail, all good people. Spark a ray of hope. Encourage any lost soul who feels they cannot cope. Remind them of love and beauty all around. Play uplifting music to heal from the sound. Get out into nature. Be among the trees. Go to the beach or the mountains if you please. Take some fresh air. Absorb some sunshine too. Remember your source as God rejuvenates you. Gather all good people. Celebrate unity. Rejoice and give thanks for every opportunity. Hail, all good people. Your life is not in vain. God rewards the meek and all who've suffered pain. Remember that this lifetime is one big picture show. When it's done, we all return to our heavenly home. All whom we thought we'd lost will be there waiting. With joy and love and lots of fun, we'll be celebrating. But now it's time to shine as we do what we came here to do. This is the moment in time for which God will glorify you. Bolster all of your inner strength. Gather all of your nerve. This is the time you were called for. Now is your time to serve. The end is only the beginning when you open your heart. God bless you.
Yay, thank you so much for that. That was a great ending. and spot on.
Yeah, it was the one that said, be the light in someone's night. And I think it's really appropriate too, because we're getting into an era where everybody's being called to share our gifts. And so I bet you, souls that watch this will really resonate with that, especially right now in this time in human history.
Yes. And things are changing. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can see it too.
Me too. It makes me happy. Makes me feel joy and peace, and and even when people go through things, I just know they're going to get through it with so much more love in the world.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tim. Roll on. The golden age. Yay. And
Here we
I heard
are.
we're in it. Things have been released.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of not that much time. So
That's right. That's
keep
right.
your chin up, shine your light, and be all that you can be, because the best is yet to come.
Yay! Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. And please like, subscribe, and share. It helps the algorithms, because they do ban me or shadow ban me. So thank you for any help you can provide as well. And here we go. See you soon. Yeah, let me make my heart too with my crooked fingers. So anyway, here we go. See you.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers, stronger than ever. Never say never. Don't look back now, don't look back now. Rise up, stand with each other. We are sisters and brothers, finding our place and running the race. We'll take our chance and seize the moment. Hold on tight and don't let go of all your hopes and dreams that light the way. We control our fate. Destiny awaits. We are all the actors in the stories we create. Hope will be our guide. We'll no longer hide. When we roll like thunder, feel the wonder from inside. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can